Hey guys, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. We are working on Tina's mass makes, where I am doing all 100 weeks of her mass makes in 100 days. So, having said that, we are working on day 75, which was mason jar. Now, she did them as pockets, but there's a couple ways to interpret that. And at the end of the video, she even made the comment about the modification that I'm going to make for some of mine, based on some of these cards that I've got back here. But I want to start with the interpretation that she made of these. And basically, what that means is we're going to need, I've decided that a 4-inch wide jar is about what I like. I like them to be about 4 by 6. The reason I say that is because I don't have, my little thing isn't attached to the board, the envelope board. So I don't have the same way to measure that she does. Mine's freestanding. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a shot without the board. And I'm going to show you what my thoughts are on this. So if you have one of these freestanding ones, I don't remember how it attaches to the board. I didn't get it out and check. I don't even know what I did with my board. The main reason I bought it was to have this freestanding. So I'm honestly, I don't know how it would work with the board to do what she did. There's probably a way to do it. I just don't know what it is. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 inches, and I'm going to draw a line across the back where this isn't going to show. The reason I'm doing this is because I want my punches to line up. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to try and center that. Oops. I'm going to center it on that side, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to center it on this side. Okay. Again, this is because I have a freestanding envelope punch. In my description box, you'll find the playlist. This is day 75, 175, like that. If you want, you can go see her do it with the punch board and the piece attached. If you want to do it that way, or if you have that piece. So then you would just do like we did with the clipped pockets, and you would fold this up. Okay? Just like that. You're just going to fold it up at the bottom. Get out my bone folder. Okay. And then we have a pocket on the back of this. And that was apparently not cut straight because that was... Okay, now, as I said, I think these jars, I think about 4 by 6 is a size that I like. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut this at 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to take it off right there. Okay, and I'm just going to, I mean, you can get out a trimmer, a ruler, a blade, or whatever. I'm just going to cut along this crease. Okay, and then we have our, now, again, because mine is freestanding, she basically put hers against the edge of the board and then clipped it. Okay, so that it would come right at the top. What I'm going to do is, you can see in here, let me put this in here so you can see it. You can see where the slot right there, when the paper goes in there, it comes out just enough so that you can tell where it is. I put it in there so that the end of the slot is at the top edge of the paper. Okay? the end of the slot is on the top edge of the paper and I punch it. Okay. And then I do the same thing on this side. The end of the slot, in this case, I've turned it over. So at the end of the slot is at the bottom edge of the paper and I punch it. Okay. And then you basically take and put, and you cut these off, these little tabs. And there you go. You have a little jar with a pocket on the back. I mean, they're not hard. And like I said, you can do it with the freestanding punch. You just have to... So let's do that again. These ones I've already cut down to 9 inches. So I get my 3-inch fold. I'm just going to mark on either side so I don't have to get the ruler back out and all that. I mean, not that it went anywhere, but kind of get what I mean. Okay, and we're going to kind of center that up. Okay, clip it. It's getting tough to clip, guys. A little. Okay, and then fold it up. All right. And burnish the bottom. And there you go. Again, you've got a little... Now, like I said before, I'm going to make sure that the top corner of my piece is at the very top of this slot. Right at the top, but not over. Okay, and then if you want, you can just flip it over and do same. So right at the top, but not over. Okay, and then you cut the tabs off. Okay, and again, you have another little jar. I think these are really, I mean, they're really cute, and it's a neat way to, do this shape thing. So I've got one more that I've done to 9 inches for the sake of getting a pocket on the back. So I'm going to mark it here and here again, and center that up. How's everybody been doing? Oops. Oh, I hope that didn't move. Let's see. What have I been? I've been continuing with my elementary. I'm at the end of the season where the nemesis comes in. That's the other thing I'm not a huge fan of, the whole reoccurring nemesis. It's not a comic book story. I don't know. That's just not something that appeals to me. I like different stories every week, different crimes to solve, different mysteries, all that. But I'm up to the part where he gets his nemesis. I mean, I know Sherlock Holmes had one. But it gets into his personal life because in elementary, sorry, this will be spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched it, but in elementary, it's a former girlfriend. Okay. All right, so these are the ones with pockets. Well, actually, I had a couple other ones here that I did, and basically this one I folded and said, and I figured I could just center the fold and do the same thing that I've been doing. Fold that up. Whoop. Well, it didn't exactly. Okay, and then do the same thing with the paper. This is just paper, and it would probably have to be reinforced. But it's the same idea. You line all the things up in the same places, and you just clip the... Now, because you're eyeballing this, sometimes one side of the jar might be a little higher than the other, or, you know, you might get... Let's cut along the green line because it makes it obvious here. Okay, there. So you might get one side higher than the other, or, you know, whatever, because you are still eyeballing it. I mean, I suppose I could put a little Sharpie mark on there and try and do it. Okay, now this one was a tube pocket. See that? This is a tube pocket that I already had glued together. Okay, and I thought, what if we did this same idea on here? I was curious. So we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. And of course, I can always trim this pocket down if I don't like how tall it is. Okay, so I have my jar bottom. All right, and up here I've got a double pocket because I get a pocket here and a pocket here. I probably will cut that down a little bit more. Okay, and then I do the same thing with the top of the pocket. Okay. Clip them. Now, of course, that means the top of your pocket is open there, but still. But you have a jar-shaped pocket this time. So this is a pocket here, and then there's pockets on the back. And I don't know, that's kind of neat. So if you make yourself a little tube, you can make the tube itself into a multi-pocket jar. It was just an experiment I wanted to do. So trim that down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then I would, because there's two in here, I would probably put a notch in this. And then you have a pocket and then a pocket. So that's kind of fun. All right. Now, what she said at the end was, because these have pockets on the back, well, that one doesn't. That was my practice piece. Because these have pockets on the back, so obviously now all I would do is glue that pocket shut. They are designed to be clip-in pieces or tuck them in a pocket, and then you have a pocket on a, you know, and all that. And there's nothing to say that you can't do that. But the other thought was, what if you wanted to glue this down to a page as a cute little jar-shaped tuck? Okay, so I have some cards here that are 4.5 by 6.5. So these are a little bigger than what I was using. And basically, all I'm going to do is cut these into that jar shape. Now, at the bottom, for the bottom of the jar, because we're not doing that fold-up thing, this is going to have to hit the midline. So you're going to want to put this at the halfway point to cut your, you know what, we are going to mark it so that hopefully every one of my jars comes to the same spot. I'm going to eyeball this, and we're going to put a mark right there and right there. And then hopefully, at least, even if that's not exactly center, at least I'll put them all at the same place. Okay, so we're going to put the thing up to my marks. Well, and clip the bottom, and see, you get that shape. So, and then you turn it over and you do the same thing again. And you get that jar shape at the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to go back to doing what we were doing before, where you line this up so that the top corner is at the top of this slot. Okay. And again on this side, flip it over and you can still do it top. I keep just moving it over to the bottom, but okay, and then you clip it just like you were doing with the ones for the pockets. Okay, and there you go. You have a jar-shaped card that you could then put on a page like that, glue it down, and then you could tuck stuff behind the jar. So I think these are really cute. So that's one. Now this is a rather fat jar, but you get the idea. So I'm going to punch a few more of these so that I've got some at the ready. And yeah. So we got to go back to co-op this week. See, today is Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. I'm trying to get this video ready because it's got to go out tomorrow morning so that I don't miss a day. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. We're coming up on 2 of her mass makes that are going to be rough for me, guys. So they're either going to be really short or I'm just going to keep punching and then I'll snip all the tips off. They're either going to be really short so that you don't have to watch me suffer. Or I don't know what, because we've got 2 coming up that are going to be out of my comfort zone. Let's just say that. But anyway, yeah, so we had co-op this week. And I got to do with my kids the logic problem. We worked on patterns this week. So, I mean, and honestly, my goal is just to get them thinking outside the box. I feel like kids don't sit and do, like, puzzles anymore. They sit and do video games, and sometimes the video games they do have puzzles in them, but they don't sit and just do puzzles anymore. It's starting to get sticky. I haven't really put it through anything sticky, but so yeah, so one of the things I'm trying to get them to do is just sit and do puzzles. So they did as I said, this week was patterns, and we did pattern recognition. So they had to copy patterns in dots, and they had to complete geometric patterns in a row, and stuff like that. So and then they did a cutout puzzle where you cut out the pieces of it was a picture. They give you a small version of the picture, and then they divide the picture into rectangles and scramble it. And you cut out the rectangles and you glue them down to something unscrambled to make the picture. So they did that. So kind of just a more pattern recognition, but on a more, I don't know, bigger scale, I guess. Okay, so that's all my jars clipped. It's actually easier to see them upside down. So I'm going to clip them this way. But anyway, so yeah, so they did that, and I think it went well. They all got very concentrated on their worksheets when they were working on them, so I took that as a good sign. And then I don't know what else has happened. Nothing really. I'm trying to get my daughter back into the swing of, not that she was out of the swing, but every time we come back from a weekend, it's like pulling teeth trying to get her back into doing her schoolwork. Okay. The only other thing I thought would be kind of fun is I have these books like this where you've got these plant pictures, and some of them I was like, oh, it would be fun to cut those out, or whatever. And the more I look at them, the more I'm like, that's a lot of fussy cutting that I don't know if I want to do. So I mean, not to say I wouldn't, but it would depend. So I thought it would be fun to see about what these would look like as one of these little jars. Now, obviously, because this is down on the bottom of the page, and a lot of them are like that, I wouldn't want to fold a pocket up for this one. So this is going to be one of those ones where, oops. This is going to be one of those ones where I make it, make the jar itself a pocket. Okay, so that's 4 inches wide, and then we want it 6 inches tall. That has been a good width-height ratio for me. I keep doing that like I, have better sense. Okay, so this is a 4x6. So if you have any, this would be great use for, like, how we have those 4x6 pads sitting around? This would be a great use for a 4x6 pad. So I'm just going to do it to this one because I thought it might be fun. I want to see how it turns out. And then we'll try and decorate up a couple of these jars, and then I'll let you go while I go research the mayhem that is going to be further into the week. I don't know why that's going in so far. Okay, so we put it just like we've been doing, right up against the end. And then, oops. It's not grabbing because I can't squeeze it. There it goes. Okay. Right up against the end. And then we cut this down as our jar. Let's see what we got. I cut this ever so slightly out from the curve, just because to me, that little bit hanging over looks almost like a lid on the jar. Now, obviously that's up to you, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. Okay, so there's our jars. We've made a bunch and come up with some ideas for alternatives. These would also make really cute journaling cards. Not for nothing. I mean, if you wanted to cover the back of this while it was a 4x6, I would do it while it was a 4x6 piece, cover it with some sort of journaling paper, and then cut all my notches and everything so that I didn't have to cut around all these weird shapes. But, what are you going to do? All right, so I'm going to put these up here. I did do this one for practice, so I have this pink one. And I'm going to put that on the bottom of my pile. And we're going to look at maybe decorating one of these. Get this one out because I have some. One of the things that she did, which I thought was really cute, was she took some fabric and made a jar top. Like on jelly jars. Trying to decide how far down I would want it to come. Probably about there. It doesn't need to be a wide strip. Okay. So let's see if I can effectively do this. I would go right along the neck of the jar. I'm waiting for that. There we go. That little bulb to pop. Okay, and then I put the fabric in it. Kind of scrunch it. All right, and we're going to scrunch it right along the neck of the jar. I don't want it to be a big, like, roughly scrunch. I want it to be as if it's bunched underneath of tied twine or whatever. So we're not looking for it to be scrunched like a ruffle. Oops. Okay, and then what we would do is cut, yikes, cut even on the corner, on the top, and then kind of flare it out down here along the jar. I hope. Yeah. Okay. The other side was a lot easier. Although I think I'm just hitting glue right there. Okay. And we have a little cover, like a country jam jar. Now, the other thing she did, and I'm probably going to do this with Fabri-Tac, is she took the top and mushed it flat, because the part that goes over the lid is usually, well, it's usually caught flat against the jar or the lid and then tied at the neck, and the neck part is the part that flares out. So we're going to kind of glue that somewhat flat so that that lays down a little bit. Ow, what? Okay, and then you've got your little jam jar. Oh, I cut a little too far over on that one, but, and really super cute. I think that's great. Okay, now on the back, I have not glued my pocket, so let me do that. And then we'll see about finishing the decorations on this. I need to find my bag. I have a box of little tags. So I'm going to try and do what she did for her decorations. Sounds like they're playing with my dog up there. That's usually what the banging over my head is, if you guys hear it in the background. Rumbling and banging and whatnot over my head. It's either heavy boot footfalls or my dog playing with a toy. Because my husband bought her toys, and he bought her like really durable, heavy duty rubber toys. And yeah, she loves them, but they're so heavy and thick that they make a lot of noise up there. Okay, so that's the back. Now, of course, if you flip this over and you see it, I mean, you get to see all the cut area. So I don't know if you would want to continue your fabric back there, or, you know, I don't know. I got a paper cut. I don't know when I got it, but I did. The other thing I thought would be kind of cute is I have these cutoff strips, and I thought it might be fun to put a lid on my jar back here. So that would be like the jar lid. I don't know. I can't decide if I like it. So I'm just going to leave it for now. But anyway, so that was the idea. Let me see if I can find my little tags. Okay, I have all these decorative little tags, so let's see if we can find one that would be fun on here. I think this will be a fun use for them because I'm always looking at them going, what am I going to use these for? Oh, that one's even got a daisy on it. Okay. Now, if you wanted to decorate this up, you could put an eyelet through it. Let's see if I've got one. We're just going to decorate the one, guys. Yeah. And then I'll let you go. I don't know if this might be too big. Yeah, that's too big. I don't know. It's not actually too big. Guess we're about to find out. Get my crocodile out here and see how much of a mess I can actually make. I need the big one. I always just hook it on the top spike and then pull it down to the bottom one. That seems to be easier for me. I don't know. Okay, and there we have that. Okay. And then basically what she did was she took some twine. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit extra. Okay. I'm going to end up using this color up fastest. Okay, and we're going to take it and we're going to put it around here. I think I got enough. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to tie a little knot over here to the one side. And we're going to string our tag on it. And then tie the knot the rest of the way. And you can just let the strings hang. Unless you don't like them, and then, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay, and you get a little tag on there. And then the other thing she did was across the back, she went and stuck some glue down underneath the twine so that the twine would stay. Just run a line of glue along there and then stick the twine in it. Ouch. Don't burn yourself. Hurts when you do that. Okay, and there you go. Oh, I know what we didn't do. We don't have a label on our jar. I was thinking I might use some of these. These are kind of neat. I got these from Hobby Lobby. And I feel like they would be a lot of fun on here. Now, the other thought that you might have would be to take a piece of, oh, let's see. I don't know that I would want to use this piece because it's the same color. So that might not be good. But a piece of cardstock across there. Let me see if I've got anything. I've got some stuff sitting off to the side here. Let me see if I've got anything. No. I introduced some pink in the tag. So maybe, no. I used a piece of this. Okay. Cut it off at about the 13 mark here. Okay. Do I want it that big? Probably not. Let's cut down here. And across here. All right, and then we'll round the corners. We'll ink it. After I get this done, I'll let you guys go, but I wanted to get one decorated so that you could see. I think these turn out really cute. Not to mention the fact that I hadn't tried decorating one, so I wanted to do it just to... Because I was messing around with the stuff on one of the jar lids, actually that pink one that I pulled off from the side. I was messing around with it the other day, trying to practice this, and I kept messing it up. I couldn't get it to look right. So I went back and watched her do it again because I really couldn't. I wonder if it would look... And once I do it, I don't have a choice, but... I don't know. Okay, now my thought is to put this on here like this. Cute. Sorry. I don't mean to grumble. Don't I have some scraps over here or something? No, I keep throwing them all away very efficiently. I don't like using my rag when my glue decides to do that oozing thing. Because, I mean, it just messes up the rag so bad. Okay, now we're going to try and center this as best we can. Right about there. Okay, and then she had the idea, and this would be cute to do if you were going to glue this down. Now, mine's a pocket in the back. Of course, if I decided I didn't want to use the pocket in the back, I could still glue this down. But the idea would be to then glue this down as a pocket for something small. So maybe one of those little fancy fold envelopes, self-tucking envelopes we did recently. If you did a little one of those, you could tuck it in here, or, you know, tickets or little tags or, you know, whatever. But you would have a spot on the front of your jar here. Oh. Why I was thinking that was that wide. Now I'm going to need to, definitely going to need to get that glue off of there. Okay, and then you've got a little pocket on the front of your jar. Right? Oh, that's really cute. I like the way that turned out. So, yeah, so pockets on the back, no pockets on the back. Gluing them down, you can glue them down as tucks, or you can stick them in pockets, or you can clip them into your journal with a cute little clip or something. I think these are adorable. I love this little mason jar look. I actually have been seeing people do mason jar things around the different, you know, channels and whatnot when I'm watching. And I was always like, I got to find myself a template or something. I love the fact that, once again, Tina has shown me a way to do this without having to have any kind of template or, you know, trying to cut egregiously these, you know, perfectly curved corners and make everything match. She's given us an alternative to make these jars, and I think it's great. So if you've got this envelope punch, give this a try. If not, I would say that you're probably going to need a template if you want to make these mason jars. But they're a lot of fun. And this isn't actually all that expensive at Hobby Lobby. It comes with a board and this. And I think I paid $9 for the set. So, I mean, some punches are more expensive than that. So, I didn't think it was that bad. And if you go in there when they're having a sale, you know, you might be able to get it a little cheaper. But yeah, so give these a shot, and I will see you guys tomorrow with day 76. Yes, day 76. Okay, bye-bye.